everyone. So, something exciting today. We've actually come away from Chaos Farm. I've been allowed out to play, which is great. So, we have come to SOS Farm, SOS Stud, SOS really.
Saddlery shop.
Saddlery,
Yeah.
you name it. We've basically come to see the fabulous Georgia Stokes.
So lovely. Takes your friend to say that.
Well, it does. So we come to see Georgie. Now, you have actually met, some of you may remember, Jess came to see Georgie a couple of years ago. So we've come back to see what's been going on in that time.
Lots.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say. So, Georgie, how are you doing? Thanks for having us here today.
That's lovely to see you all again.
So, I'm going to get it over and done with.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Last time we were here,
Yeah,
you introduced us to the lovely Ripley.
I did, yeah.
So we'll start with the down bit and then go from there. So, sadly,
Very soon after you came, I can't actually remember. I mean, within sort of 6 weeks after you came last time, he got really poorly. We tried to save him for a week. Sorry, I knew I'd do that. And we lost him. He had peritonitis and we couldn't save him. And it was fairly tragic. But there you go, life goes on. And I was very lucky that I had kept Johnny for myself, which I did think that I was a bit old and I was probably over it all. But anyway, clearly I'm not, because here I am 2 years later with 3. So, yeah, so Johnny is sort of stepped into the breach to take over. There will be no replacement of him, obviously, but he's doing quite a good job, isn't he?
I think he's doing a very good job.
He was, I think I probably introduced you to him last time, he was fairly mad as a young horse, and he is still fairly mad, but he does channel his madness a bit better now, so that's good news for me, because he's not been an easy horse, and I feel at my grand old age of 53 that I just have had to sit quite tight and be a bit brave, and it's not been much fun along the way, but yeah.
I seem to remember when he was a young horse, you saying to me, oh, I'm never going to ride that, never going to be able to ride that.
No, I remember thinking that when I looked at him on the ground. I look at him now sometimes when he's in the field and think I don't want to get back on that when he's doing histrionics and air balloon impressions, but anyway, still we're here. We're still here, and I'm still got all my bits that are still working, so I've got to keep going.
So, been exciting times recently. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
Yeah, I've just come back from the regional championships, which is the leads up to the nationals. So you have to qualify for the regionals and then follow on through to the nationals. And he went at 3 levels and qualified for the nationals at 3 levels. So that's really exciting. He is a very nervous horse in competition. He is spooky, which means he looks at everything and is, doesn't concentrate on me. But he really upped his game, played the game, and was really a good boy, tried his hardest. So I can't be more pleased than that. And I think that, we're only just scratching the surface with him. He's super talented. So God willing, he stays with me and he stays sound, because actually, I think quite soon after you came last time as well, he had a really terrible accident. He was in a field, we've got fields all down the road, and he was in a field down the road, and his wife escaped and left him alone, and he decided he would like to follow her, jumped the gate and didn't make a very good job of it, and obliterated the gate and came home with a fractured tibia and a ruptured patella ligament, which is the main ligament that works the hind leg. So he was, yeah, exactly, and especially for the sort of sitting that you used to do in the piaffe and the pirouettes and things. But anyway, God was on my side that day. I think my luck ran out with him, not with poor old Rips, but he's come completely sound, and every day's a bonus. So basically, yeah, whether he will stay with us, but 2 years down the line, he's okay. So hence we've got a backup.
Yes.
Should it go wrong. So, yeah.
Shall we go and meet?
So I've got one that's dead and one that's got a broken leg in the box. I think, well, I've got another one out in the field. So
let's meet this one.
This is the lovely wee man who is very wonderful. He is rising 6 now, so he was all I had left to ride when it all went tits up. And I was a bit like, well, oh God, I don't know if I'm up to a 4-year-old, but he has been a saint for me, I have to say. So I just thought, I'll just put him in the lorry. And I thought, I don't want to be out of the swing with all my sort of patriots, so that I loaded up and went chasing off all the way up to Stourport to do a young horse class, all professionals in it, and I won it. So then that gave me a little glimmer of mojo back. And then he has just been last season an absolute hero. He's just been fantastic. He's won so many things. He won his first novice on 77%. which Penny had to drive me to because my lorry was broken.
That was an interesting day.
Yeah, and he won an international young horse class at Hartpury at the final, which was so exciting because, well, just because everybody in the whole class was professional and there's a little old Cornish meet in there. So it was very exciting, and he is a very exciting horse, but he's also a bit scary for me. I have to steel myself to get on most days. Yeah, there's quite a lot of routine that goes on before actually brave enough to put foot in the stirrup. But other than that, I love him. You're super, aren't you? And he's really exciting because I think he is a top-class horse. I don't know what he's doing, he's nestled in a little stable in Cornwall. But anyway, I was lucky enough to trap him. So thanks to Mark Bazanko, who sold him to me and Johnny.
Yes. And they both have a rather well-known fan, don't they? Particularly this little man. Because tell us a little bit about your training at the moment.
So yes, I train with Carl Hester, the king of dressage, who is, oh well, my hero, as you can imagine. Most dressage riders, he's their hero. And he absolutely loves this horse. He just, I just trot around on him and he goes, oh my God, he's gorgeous. So then, of course, I want to keep him because Carl thinks he's wonderful. So if he thinks he's wonderful, then yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Carl Hester is one of our top riders and definitely our top trainer in this country.
Yeah.
He's won Olympic medals. He's
I
been
can't
on
remember how many Olympics he's done, maybe six Olympics, maybe seven.
He's the British rider who's competed at the most Olympic Games.
Yeah.
So he is, to us dressage riders, he is the man, the main man. So to have him, A, training you.
Oh yes, that's very
and
exciting.
B, have huge confidence in your horses.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, he thinks he's a really good horse. I mean, you know, he says he's a special horse, but this is the one that he gets really excited about. And I have to say very silently like that, that's my favourite. We don't say it out loud. Yeah, everybody likes that best, but that's my favourite. I know you shouldn't say it. It's a bit like your children. You shouldn't have a favourite, but
You do.
I have.
I think we all know that.
Now he's not even going to look at me now.
No.
Did you hear me?
His feelings now, look.
Did you hear me? You are wonderful, aren't you?
So exciting times ahead.
Hopefully.
So what have you got next? Plans on next?
So the national championship. So what we qualified through to last week is in a month's time at Hartpury College. So that's exciting because it's a lovely venue. And I've got my best friend who lives around the corner. So that's even more exciting because I get to go and be partying. So I've got a couple of lessons with Carl before to get me a bit prepped. And then, national championships. So we do it to music. And the lady who does my music, who is a very sweet lady and a dear friend, Ros Emery Kay, she is such an enthusiast. So I just literally finished doing my dressage music. So basically they fit the music to the horse's paces, walk, trot, canter, and you ride rhythm to it and ride all this designated movements that you have to do. By the time I'd driven home, Ros was so excited that I qualified. She's done me all new music. She's videoed my test from the thing. She's then set all new music to it. So I arrive home the same day that I've done it and I've got all this beautiful new music to ride to. So now I've got to learn it all over again now. So that's exciting because, well, she says I need to have grown-up music because apparently George Michael, na-na-na-na-na-na, is not really very professional for a gold rider at the National Championships. So now I've got some real dramatic, exciting music. So...
Because, those
God willing, I'll remember the way.
Yes.
Which I don't sometimes.
Yes. So, I mean, those of us that know you know that you are quite specific. You're quite picky with your music.
I do like it a bit jolly. I can't be doing the dirgy, but I've got quite dirgy now. I was quite happy bopping away to George Michael, but no, not allowed.
I think it'll be fabulous.
I think it will.
So, good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
So, let's move on, I think. And I think you've got some other things to show us. Well, I think, first of all, you're going to give us a demo on Johnny, aren't you?
Yep.
Which is going to be very exciting. So we can actually see Johnny showing us his paces, which would be great. And then a little bit later on, I think you're going to be showing us around a couple of the others around the
Yep,
the
can have a look at all the babies that are coming through.
Yeah,
Perfect.
fantastic.
Okay,
See you later.
thank you.
So, what's happening now is we're very lucky in that Georgie is going to give us a little bit of a demonstration of her riding Johnny. Now, Johnny is currently her top horse. He's still a young horse. He's going to be 8 this year, but he is currently Georgie's top horse. She's very excited about this little man. He's very talented. He's quirky, but very talented. And she's very hopeful that he's going to go, little bit cheeky there. She's very hopeful that he's going to go all the way to the top, hopefully to Grand Prix, which is the highest level of dressage. So what she's doing at the moment is just warming him up, getting all his muscle groups moving. Dressage puts quite a strain on them. They're athletes, the same as human athletes. So he's got to get all his muscles stretched, them all warm, all the blood flowing, before she can start to ask him to do the harder levels of work. So that's what she's currently doing in canter. She's already warmed him up in trot, so she's just starting to introduce some of the movements that she's going to be asking him to do. So let me tell you a little bit more about Johnny. His show name, his posh name, is SOS Johnny Cash, but he's known as Johnny or JC to us, his friends. Georgie's owned him since I think he was 2 when she bought him. So she's owned him quite a long time, and during that time she's done all the work with him herself. With the help of her husband, she's backed him, so introduced him to ridden work as a youngster, and Georgie's done all the training with him. He's currently competing at elementary and medium level, so midway up the ranks really. Hopefully soon to be going out doing advanced medium, which is moving further up towards that goal of Grand Prix. So some of the movements that you're starting to see her do now, she's starting to introduce some of the more advanced movements really. We just saw them do a canter pirouette, which is where he turns around in a little circle. This is what we call a half pass, and horses are expected to do this in trot as well as canter. So half pass is when they're moving sideways and they're bending at the time, and they're moving sideways into the direction of the bend. So he's bending around her leg and moving sideways in that same direction. So coming around again in the canter. So Johnny's starting to work really hard now, and when you see them working at these levels, they're showing what we call a high level of what we call collection, which is where they're sitting more on their back legs, they're shifting their weight back and using that huge engine they've got in their hind legs to push them forwards into the movements. So we've got another canter half pass here to the left, and I should imagine she's going to do what we call a flying change in a minute. Wait for it. And here we go, there we go, and that's a flying change. So what she's doing there is changing the direction of the canter. She started out on a canter in the left direction, and then did the flying change of leg onto the right direction of canter. So she's cantering on the right now. So giving him a stretch between these hard movements as a reward, just to let those muscles stretch, so he's not working too hard and not putting him at risk of injury. As I say, these horses, they are absolutely top athletes, and like human athletes, we have to look after them. They work so hard for us, and you know, they deserve the best. What you can't see is behind me we've got an equine chiropractor hard at work on some of the horses here. So these horses, they get treated better than we do. So Johnny, I expect, is going to have a nice treatment from the chiropractor later on today to keep him nice and fit and feeling well, sort out any little aches and pains. There we go, another flying change. So that was lovely there. So he should be stepping underneath himself from his hind legs to his front legs as he changes direction. Another canter pirouette here. So these are really tough movements for the horses. These are the kinds of things that if you watch dressage, like at the Olympics, you will see the horses competing at Grand Prix, and they will be doing these kind of things, canter pirouettes, flying changes, the half pass. They're all advanced movements. There you go, another little stretch and a little walk to rest there. Bless his little heart. Okay, so right, this is really exciting. So what we're starting to see now with Johnny is some of the really advanced stuff. These movements are the highest level of training that you will see a horse do. What she's starting to ask him to do is what we call passage. Now, passage is a kind of trot, but it's a slow and very collected, if you remember I mentioned about collection earlier, it's a very collected trot. So basically what's happening, the trot is slowed right down, and Johnny will be really using that engine in his back legs to push him up and off And you'll only see this movement is introduced right at the highest levels. It comes in at Inter 2, which is the final level just before they reach Grand Prix. So it's Inter 2, and then you'll see it more and more in Grand Prix. So that's the kind of thing that the Olympic horses are doing. So let's see how Johnny gets on. And Johnny's still learning this. It's still very, very green, very, very novice, but it shows his talent that he, at the age of nearly 8, he is already able to work on some of these fabulous advanced movements. So lots and lots of pats from Georgie, lots, and she'll be telling him well done. Horses love to know that they're doing the right thing for us. If we reward them, if we tell them they're good, if we give them pats, they will try even harder for them. And you can see them, they will just, and you can feel them when you're riding them. If you pat a horse, if you scratch its neck, tell him or her that they're a good boy or girl, you will feel them relax and you'll feel them try even harder for you. It's a lovely feeling. That's what dressage is all about. It's teamwork. It's not about making the horse do something. It's not about forcing them. It's about teamwork. It's about asking them if they could possibly use their bodies to do these movements that can be really hard for them, but they just love to work. They love to please us. Here we go, another little bit of passage. And if you watch carefully, you'll see Johnny's ears are just flicking, they're moving around. Sometimes they'll go forward whereas he's looking ahead of himself, and then they'll go back, and that's not because he's cross or angry, but he's actually concentrating on Georgie and what she's asking him. There we go, there's a little bit of extended trot there. So exactly the opposite of the passage. He's stretching out. The idea is that they really push from behind and stretch through their bodies, so they're flicking their front legs out, covering the ground, not so much quicker, but with larger strides, and back to that very collected passage again. So he's working really hard, bless his heart. And then asking him to stretch again. So it's a really good exercise for them, asking them to, really squeeze their bodies and push into the passage, push upwards into the passage, and then push them, making them stretch into the extended trot. And another big pat and another stretch for him. And you can see how he's stretching down. Georgie's she's allowing him to stretch. She's not asking him to stretch. She's not pushing him down. She's just giving him a nice long rein, and he's just stretching down like we all do when we've been working hard in the gym or any other kind of exercise. We need to stretch those muscles. So that's what he's doing. And he's really saying, oh, that's lovely, Mum, thanks for that. So it's very important not to ask these horses to work too hard for too long without just relaxing, stretching. Keeps them happy and reduces the risk of injury. Because hopefully hopefully Johnny will be working happily for, up to another 10 years yet. So he's got a lot of years to keep fit and healthy and happy. We don't want him getting bored. We don't want him getting upset, angry, resentful of us. We want him to be enjoying his work. So it's really about making him happy and comfortable, and as I say, keeping that teamwork between horse and rider. There's very much, in the dressage world, there's very much this movement towards the dressage horse being what we call a happy athlete. And there is a movement towards rewarding, at the top levels, rewarding horses that are enjoying themselves, that are relaxed, that are working in a team, that are... And Georgie's just said to us that she feels that Johnny's done his bit for today. She's delighted with what he's done. I think we all are really, and he's going to have lots of fuss, lots of pats. There will be polos coming out in a minute, I expect. Thank you, Georgie. That was lovely to see him in action. And as I was just been saying to the guys, very hopeful that this boy's going to go all the way to Grand Prix. Keep fingers crossed, and have many happy and healthy years competing as a team member with yourself.
God willing.
God willing. Thank you, Johnny. Alrighty, so thank you. That was lovely. Thanks for riding Johnny for us. It was
No problem.
really lovely to see him.
He
and,
was a bit, well, he's had a few days of tiring work, so he can go. There's lots of exciting stuff to come, but that was a bit of it.
yeah,
start. Yeah.
well, I for one, as you know, will be following him
Yeah.
very closely, and
Bless him.
hopefully you guys will too. So, something a bit different. As you can see, I've got a couple of little friends here. So, tell us about these two.
These are what are commonly known in the trade as nippy babies. They're by my pony stallion, who is called SOS Canches Unicolor, and his home name or stable name is Nippy. So he's Palomino, as is this little mare on the right. Filly, she is called Keeping Faith. I had to think then for a minute. So she's Keeping Faith, and this is Kynance Cove. They're both last year's foals. So coming up for yearlings now. They are renowned for their temperaments. My nippy babies, they are all over you, as you can see. So yeah, they are not looking terribly beautiful at the moment. They're a little bit like furry llamas rather than furry foals, but the colour doesn't do them a great deal. They go a bit beige in the winter, but when they'll be beautiful. He's going to be done, and this one is going to be Palomino. So they will be beautiful in summer. They don't look terribly beautiful now. So if you come back again, we'll do some when they've got their summer coats and they're shiny. But they're going to be really super types. This little filly here, the mother has doppelgangers every year. They're always exactly the same, and they're just brilliant to ride, aren't they?
Oh,
They're just
absolutely.
great, talented and just lovely rideable ones. Hey, and this is a really special colt. It's very big. I don't know how it's managed to be so big by Nippy, but it's a big colt. So we're excited about you, aren't we, Andy? Andy Pandy? Sandy Andy from Kynance Cove, that's what he's called. So yeah, that's a couple of the babies we've got. I don't even know how many now, too many. So the breeding programme has expanded now. We used to have 4 broodmares, now we've got 8. So the plan is that now I just sell them to people off the end of a rope, and I don't have to ride them, and I don't have to say they're going to be perfect for the rest of their lives. And they're really popular. They sell really well. People love them because they're out doing everything and doing it well. So I'm hoping I've found my niche, sort of breeding small competition horses that are talented, but also just like rideable, lovely horses, and that's what they all seem to be.
Yeah, they're all out doing well. I mean, this one's big sister
Yeah,
is off to badminton.
she is. Yeah, badminton grassroots, not actually big badminton.
Not the big badminton,
Yeah, I'd be
but-
really excited about one going to badminton, but they're going to have a fight now. So yeah, that's 2 of the babies.
Very special, aren't they? All
hope
of them.
so. Okay.
Yes. I mean, I may be biased,
Yeah.
as I have one, but,
Yeah.
you know. So, around here somewhere, I believe you've got Daddy
Yeah,
is around. So,
Yeah.
I think he's out in his field at the moment, isn't he?
yeah, we'll get him in.
We'll get him in. And the young pretender, I believe, is around
yes.
as well. So, let's go meet him
Yeah.
and see what we think about those boys.
Okay.
Okay, so here comes the star of the show. This young man, and I mean the horse.
Young man, all 21 years old of
All
him.
21 years old. This is the hero. This is Nippy. This is SOS Canches Unicolor, ably being led there by Reds, Georgie's son. So let's wander over and meet the star. Thanks, Reds.
So he might come out, or he might be interested to just check and see if there's been any ladies in his stable.
So, tell us a little bit about this boy. Now, those of you that watched us when we were here last time, may remember this lad. Those of you that are new, then meet him for the first time. So, tell us about this very special man.
He is my absolute superhero, and he is the complete cog of the entire farm. Oh my God. I bought him in Holland as a 2-year-old, and I paid quite a lot of money for him. And when I arrived home, Matthew thought I'd gone completely barking mad that I spent all this money on a 2-year-old pony. And I just loved him, because I just sort of thought, well, when I was about 7, I thought, I really want a Palomino pony. And then when I was about 37, I bought it for myself. He looks a bit old and raggedy now, but he is the most beautiful person, lovely temperament. And he was due to be castrated because we were going to make him into a dressage pony and earn our fortune out of him. And it was horrible weather and we didn't do it. And another friend of ours said, I really don't think you should cut him. You should stand him at stud. And we knew nothing about any sort of stud work. We didn't know what we were doing. We had a couple of little young mares that we'd bought and we thought, oh, we'll just run in with them and see what happens. And he just had gorgeous foals from the day one. So he is now 21 and in his, 17th year standing at stud. He's got children all over the country. He basically has kept us in food and water for the last 16 years because he's just, he's such a hero. His children are incredible. Every mare that I've ever bred from, he just puts a stamp on them and they're all gorgeous foals. All really, really rideable, lovely foals.
So this is the father of the two that we met.
Yeah, he's the father of the two that we met. Well, obviously now I'm quite sort of conscious of his age. They go on for years, stallions, as long as they, typical men, you know. He's quite happy as long as you keep bringing him ladies, aren't you? He's got his wives that he loves that are his absolute favourite, and his first wife, who you're going to meet her son in a minute. His first wife is Trewithian Campion, who was literally bred about 2 miles away over the road, and they've been together their entire lives. So he has literally mated for life with her, hasn't he? She's his favourite.
Yeah.
So we've kept one of his son's entire and her son's entire, so that we're going to sort of like hopefully follow on the line. And I picked that particular mare because her children are incredible jumpers and really rideable, lovely, lovely ponies. So hopefully, we'll keep the line going with a bit of luck. I mean, he still will have all his harem this year. And we've got one new lady that we're going to try on the new pony and see how we go. And if we think that he covers well and he's easy, we'll see how it goes. But we adore him, don't we? We adore you. You are our best child.
Having a stallion on the yard, it does put a little bit of a different,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when he was younger, he's just so amazing tempered. I mean, when we had people come to try horses, we would say, if you want to go out and take the one you're trying for a ride, you can borrow him to go with you. But now he's absolutely mad. You couldn't let anybody ride him now. He's seen our dementia now. He's really naughty, but Yes, having a stallion on the yard, because we've got the saddlery shop as well, so we have to be a bit careful because they are known for picking people up and biting them and goodness, but he's just lovely.
He is.
He did get the nickname Nippy because, I'll leave that to your imagination, because if you're not watching, he doesn't want to bite you if you're looking. He only wants to catch you out if you're not looking. He's a bit sneaky about it, aren't you?
But we forgive him for it, don't we?
Forgive you everything. And we've got a little bit of a saying that everybody needs a Nippy baby. Everybody needs one, don't they?
# Nippy Babies rule.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So that is him. And if I take you to see his son.
Okay.
So this is SOS Roger Rabbit, because he was such a little tiny rabbit when he was born, and he isn't huge now.
No.
I kind of feel what he lacks in size, he makes up for in character, because he is a gorgeous pony, aren't you? So he's rising 3, so he'll stand just this year. He'll have just a basic covering certificate to be used this year. Okay. So he'll stand at stud this year. He is going to make about 14.2. He's got older brothers that are out being unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable ponies. They're all fabulous. So he's out of Trewithian Campion, so that's his mummy, and by Nippy. We're really excited about him. He's just a super mover. He's got a lovely temperament. I mean, for a 3-year-old colt, he stood in here. He's got his little brother next to him. He's just lovely. He's a really, you can open the door, stand here with the door open and chat, and he's just, for a baby, he's a sweet. He spent the whole winter not letting us catch him or get near him or change his rugs. He's destroyed about 5 rugs. But now that he's living in and being important, he is just so gorgeous, and we love you. We love you, don't we? Because you're very nice. And so he's been allowed to keep his bits.
Yeah.
And then this is his little brother next door. So this is the year younger.
And having a stallion with a good temperament it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So this is Little Red Rooster. He is 2.
Very pretty
he's
boy.
He's the full brother, so out of Campion. Roo, come here.
So he's the next year down.
He's the next year down. So we let them both keep their bits and pieces and decide when they got a bit older which was the best. I think this has got a prettier face, but I like the temperament for a stallion of the other one. He's just got a bit more look at me, whereas this has obviously gone to the back of the box and saying, "Oh, keep out your way." That one's in your face and wanting to be a friend and loving you. So that you kind of, for a stallion, you want that bit of presence and a little bit look at me, really, and he definitely has got that. But this is going to be a really nice pony, because I think probably this is a better mover, but that's the one that's allowed to keep the bits. So this is going to be scene 2. It's not allowed to keep
Seem
his bits.
to.
There's only so much testosterone we can manage in 1 yard. So, yeah, that's it. And I don't think we've got any more of his young ones. All the rest are all out in the field. So they basically live out until they're 3 or 4, come home, and then we break them and do them. So we've got a 4-year-old mare, she's out in the field to break in now. And then my dream is that people just come and buy them when they're foals now. And I go, oh, they'll cut my lovely fluffy foal, it's so beautiful. And goodbye. Have the money and not have to look after it all winter and traipse around in the mud. That is the plan now.
That's the plan.
Yes.
Good.
So that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing now. So for years we've always bought foreign horses. So the horses like Johnny and Wee Man are sort of the competition horses. We've bought them, and now we are not importing them anymore. We've had lovely Connemara ponies brought over from Ireland. We're just going to breed them and produce the babies ourselves and not buy another horse ever, and God willing never ever have to sell another riding horse and have people, because they are, oh, it's such just hard work. It really is. So we're having a change around now. Matthew's mum has handed him over the saddlery shop, so he's really busy with that. And yeah, so all changed this year. It's exciting.
Exciting times
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
So,
New ponies and ready to rock.
absolutely. So it's been lovely having a little look round here.
Oh, it's lovely
Saul.
to
So
have
thank
you again.
so
it's
much.
all changed from last time, so yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck at the Nationals.
Oh, God, okay.
Next month. Just
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to remind you of
Yeah,
it.
that's it, yeah.
And obviously, good luck for the future with Johnny and Wee Man.
Yes, thank you
and
very much.
hopefully, we'll be able to come back and see you again sometime and see how you're getting
Yeah,
on.
when we've got we've got 8 foals due, so when we've got lots
Oh,
of
that'd be
lovely,
lovely.
fluffy foals out in the field and not looking like llamas, then you can come and see them in the summer. That'd be much nicer.
I think Jess wants to come to that one.
Yeah. Oh yes, she loved the foals.
Yes, she loved the foals, so she's quite keen
I'm
to
just
come.
trying to think
next
what we had then. I think he must have been a foal. Yeah, because he's rising too. So last time you came, you must have seen him when he was a foal. We went up in the field and saw them all. So yeah.
So
But,
it's lovely to follow them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the lovely thing about you breeding them here and then bringing them on a little bit.
Yeah, and they stay locally. A lot of them
yeah.
to stay. You can go on, so it's nice. Yeah.
Though mine, have to say, mine is the most local
Yours
one.
is your most local. Yeah, absolutely.
He was born here and has gone about...
and hacked home.
Hacked
All
home.
15
Absolutely.
seconds of hacking
Absolutely,
home. Yeah.
and regularly comes back.
Yes.
Yes, but
Yeah.
whether she likes it or not. But
No, I'm not sure she does much, but yeah.
just to be shouted at by Auntie Georgie.
Yeah,
But yeah, well, thank you again so much, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, great. Thank you very
Right,
much.
guys. Bye now.